it makes sense to pay a little talking lizard to sell auto insurance. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but that ain't real. Them little geckos, they can't talk like that. And now they've got pigs flying. Have you seen this? And somebody was paid millions to think up, hey, let's use lizards and pigs to sell some auto insurance. If you want to ask me, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
They call us crazy because we come out and we give a little bit of our time to figure out how we can better ourselves. Yep. You know what I think's crazy? Getting up before daylight, going somewhere you don't want to be, around people you can't stand, doing something you hate for what ain't enough. You done spent more than you make it. Robbing from Peter to pay Paul. And we think if we do more of it, it'll get better. It's like two old boys back home started a business. They started going to Hope, Arkansas and buying watermelons, $1 a piece. Put them in their truck, drive to Dallas, Texas, sell the same watermelons. $1 a piece. Made a second. Don't get ahead of me. Made a second trip. Bought them for $1. Went to Dallas. Sold them for $1. Coming back, first brother looked at the second brother and said, hey man, we're losing money. Second brother looked at the first and said, yeah, I know, but I done figured it out. We need a bigger truck. Do you really think doing more of what you're doing is going to get you where you want to go?
No.
Hey, if you want something different, you got to do something different. Now, I will agree with you. This is different. This ain't normal. But that's okay. Because I don't want a normal life.
That's right.
I don't want a normal house. I don't want to take a normal vacation. You see, you got to be willing to be a little different. And what I've learned is this. When you dress like this and you talk like this and you walk around and you ain't got no money, you're crazy. But when you get a little bit of money, all of a sudden you just become eccentric. But I'm just like you are. I'm the same way. I had the same fears and concerns, even to today. They sent us this ring. You see that thing? That's gaudy. That ain't nothing. I mean, it looks like you spent $1.50 in a gumball machine right there. All them diamonds, and they sent it to us and said we had to wear it to meetings. And I told Marcy, I said, I ain't wearing that thing. That thing is just, it ain't me. And I'm embarrassed even now, because when I travel, people are like, what'd you do? What kind of ring is that? And I'm like, chickens and eggs. So I told Marcy, I said, this blooming ring, I don't know. And I'll never forget, Marcy said, hey boy, for the money they're sending us, you wear a diaper if they give it to you. I'm wearing both tonight. And then they're going to give us these cars, these Mercedes. No, I ain't never had a car. I've always had a pickup truck. So I go down there to pick it up, and we pick out the one I can get in. It's the, I can't, big old fat boy like me, it's got to be a big car, so I get in it. And it ain't even got a key. It ain't got no keyhole. They just give you this little thing you're supposed to carry around with you. And if you got it on you, it knows, and it'll open the door, and it does all that stuff. And so we go out there, and he shows me how to do it, and I press all the buttons, and we go back in, sign the papers, God's truth. I go back out to get in the car, and I press a little button, and it won't start. So I pull it out of my pocket, and I lay it on the dash like maybe my jeans are blocking it or something, and I press the button, and it won't start. So next thing I know, I got the key, and I'm like some medicine man. Couldn't start it. God's truth. I had to go back into the dealership, right? Number 5 money earner. Made millions doing this. I walked in and said, could you show me how to start my car? This thing has got buttons and knobs. When you turn right, the left-hand side of the seat airs up. So you don't slide over. It holds it when you turn left. It airs up. I'm driving this thing with it blowing up on the side, and I'm thinking, how lazy are rich people? My daddy-in-law, true story, I'm taking my dad-in-law. First time we're riding in it, we're going down, I make the first curve, he goes, whoa, the seat's coming loose over here. But But the worst, God's truth. I got home showing it to Marcy, and we opened the trunk, a huge old trunk, and there's this green button on the lid of the trunk, and it's lit up. And Marcy goes, "What's that lit up?" I went, "I don't know." And then I got thinking, well, maybe it's me punching all them buttons while I was driving it home. I turned something on. And so I'm in there saying, "Okay, you watch it. That turn it off?" "No." "Does this turn?" Could not turn it off. And then we couldn't tell when we was shutting the trunk if it went off. You had to look. Oh, y'all done that with the refrigerator. So I had Marcy get in the trunk and I shut the trunk. "Is it still out?" "Yeah, it's still out." So I'm like, "Well, let's wait a few minutes, see if it goes off." The light will not go off. God's truth. So there's a little button in there you can press and you can talk to Mercedes or something. Whatever. And I thought, I said, "Man, there's a button in there. And it's lit up and I can't turn it off." And she said, "Well, that's so if someone gets in the trunk and needs to get out." "My wife's in there right now." And she said, "Oh, no, so that's so you can press the button and get," and I'm thinking, how stupid are rich people? Does this happen a lot? And then it dawned on me, that's why the mob guys, you know, these mafia guys, they don't use Mercedes. Hard to believe I'm a top money earner, ain't it? It's going to be tough. There's going to be times that, to be honest, you're going to wonder if you can do this or not. Because, see, here's the problem. You're going to be out there telling people, and they just don't get it.
Yeah.
They always say no, N-O, because they don't know, K-N-O-W. I like to do that part so you know I can spell. They always say no. We have a guest here, someone that's seeing this for the first time. I won't embarrass you too bad. You're a guest? What's your name, young man?
John.
Hi, John. Everybody say hi, John.
Hi, John.
Would you jump out of an airplane without a parachute for $10,000, John?
No.
Okay. What if I gave you $20,000, John?
No.
I'm going to wait. Final offer, cash free, $100,000, jump out of an airplane without a parachute. What do you say? Come on, John.
Is it on the ground?
Who had to talk up? Right there. That is a #1 money earner. Figured it out, John. Would you jump out for $5 if it was still sitting on the runway?
Mm-hmm.
They always say no because they don't know. That's the way you and I felt, right? When I first heard about this, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be a part. I ain't no electric salesman. I can't sell a kilowatt. Didn't know you heard of what. I can't do this. But my best friend, the #1 money earner, kept telling me, you can. So when you go to talk to a guest, when you go to talk to someone new, they're always going to say no. You know why? Because they think paying pigs and talking lizards, they think helping you is good. They want to give their money to some utility they don't even know. So you got to change their thinking because they don't know. How many of you have ever flown? How many of you ever flown in an airplane? It ain't right the way y'all drive. I've never before seen signs that said beware of aggressive drivers. And that's if they're on a moped. They'll run you over. It don't. You people drive bad. In the South, we actually pull over at folks. Let them by. We wave at each other. Y'all wave, it's just with one finger. I'm going to the airport. I'm going to fly out. I'm walking down. I got my briefcase. I got my shirt. I got my bag. I got everything in my hands. I walk along and I smell them cookies. You know them cookies they sell at the airport, them $45 for 3 of them? I decided I gotta get me some chocolate chip cookies. So I get me a little white bag, and I get there, and I'm late, and all the seats are taken, except there's one little seat right here by Aunt B. This little blue-haired lady, she's going to the same place. I sit down by her, I put down my bag, I put down my briefcase, I put down my jacket. We get to talking, and she's just pleasant and happy, and we're visiting, and all of a sudden I said, you know, I want one of them cookies. So I reach down, I get the bag, I reach in, I pull out a cookie, and when I pulled that cookie out, folks, Aunt B went off. She looked at me and she said, how dare you? And I'm thinking like, she don't like people eating cookies in front of her. And all of a sudden, she reached over and threw her hand in that bag and she pulled out a cookie. And that began the cookie eating contest at DFW Airport right there. Because we both knew there was only one cookie left. Crumbs are flying, chocolate chips are bouncing out. And I'm thinking to myself the whole time, how dare this old gal? She's eating my cookie like that, and she's looking at me, and she's chomping cookies. Finally, I get the last one in, I go in, I get to unplug it. Well, they call the flight. She gets up, she goes walking over the gate, and the whole way walking over, she's looking back at me, and she's shaking her head, and she's pointing at me. I'm thinking, you old heifer. Ate one of my cookies. That's like $18 worth. And I was aggravated, I was mad. Wasn't just a couple minutes, they called my flight. So I get up, I get my briefcase, I get my suitcase, I get my jacket, and there's my white bag. The chocolate chip.